Most of you that know me know that I'm not really into anything political. I work in the media and I am from a small Midwestern town. That makes Irresistible right up my alley. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Gino Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about Irresistible, the new political comedy from writer-director Jon Stewart, starring Steve Carell, Rose Byrne, and Chris Cooper. What this movie is about is Steve Carell and Rose Byrne's character are political strategists from the Democrat and Republican sides, respectively, and you get to see some of their successes and failures, and of course, the biggest failure of Steve Carell's character's career was Trump getting elected. So it's up to him to try to get some of the swing states back, some of the states that they lost. And one of his staff members brings him a video of this local hero, this local military hero from a little town in Wisconsin, standing up to that small town's government. That's Chris Cooper's character. A factory is shut down. The local government's not doing anything about it. And they're going to just kind of let the town die. And Chris Cooper's character's like, what, we can do something. So Steve Carell gets the bright idea to go to Wisconsin, get this guy elected mayor, convince him to be a Democrat, get him elected mayor so that they can see that Democrats can be, down home too. We can be, they can get along with these people. We can be just like these people. Definitely, it's not your typical blue state. It's they're trying to get into the red state. So he goes there and draws the attention of the Republican Party, and a battle between the two parties ensues, and hilarity ensues, by the way. I will warn you, there will probably be some minor spoilers in this. I won't give away a lot of the big stuff because that's just too much fun. But I will warn you, there are some minor spoilers. I will say this. Definitely check this movie out. It's very funny. But I say this. Come for the laughs, stay for the message, especially all the way through the credits. I wouldn't say get it on VOD right now, though, because they want like $20 because it's quote-unquote still in theaters. We all know there's not many theaters open. That being said, I got to see it in a theater because our local art theater, the Avon, got to open up this last weekend, and I went and seen it there. And I will talk about that experience on another video, but granted, I probably ended up still spending $20 on the movie, popcorn, and drink and stuff, but that being said, it was better than just paying $20 for the movie. So I don't recommend paying $20 for the movie. Wait for it to come out on regular VOD, or if you can find a theater that has it, like the Avon. I'm not sure what other theaters around the country and world have opened up, but if you get a chance to see it, definitely check it out. It's funny. But that's where I'm going to stop with where there might be some spoilers. So here it comes. What I liked about this movie, as I mentioned in the intro, is I'm not a big fan of government. I mean, if you ask me, a lot of my values probably lean towards the left. That being said, I'm not far left. I do have probably some conservative values too. But also I'm cool with whatever people want to believe as long as they ain't hurting anybody. But this movie, when I first saw the trailer for it, which was actually like a day before I went to go see it, I had heard about it. I expected it to be Democrats, yay, Republicans, nay, and hilarity ensues. And that would have been fine with me. I didn't want it to be overly preachy or anything, and it really wasn't. I do think, they definitely paint Steve Carell's character as the quote-unquote good guy, the good side, even though his character is kind of an a-hole. But then again, so's Rose Byrne's character. Even though they're hilarious and you like them, they're not very nice to anybody. They treat their staff like crap. When they go to this small town, they treat those people like crap. Even though they're there to work and they're there to win. They don't give them a lot of respect, at least at first. Now you do kind of expect this also to be kind of the movie where Steve Carell's character has some things to learn and about himself and how he needs to be towards people. And there's also Chris Cooper's character has a daughter played by Mackenzie Davis, and you kind of see they might be teasing a little bit of a romance between them, even though the age difference is kind of off. I mean, I don't have a big deal with age difference. Her character's like late 20s, close to 30, and I'm not sure how old his character's supposed to be, maybe in his 50s. So I don't see anything wrong with it, but I don't know. I just didn't see it working. I didn't see them really becoming a couple, but the movie does address it, so I am glad that there's a lot of things I expected this movie to do, and they did do them. That being said, they also did more, and that's what I really liked about this movie. They did more, and I can't really talk about the more without really ruining anything. Like I said, I mentioned the intro. I'm not a big fan of government. I also work in the media, and I, for one, am not the only one that, the media could use some revamping in a lot of different ways. There's some ways that the media has kind of lost its way, I guess is the best way to put it. And this movie addresses that as well. We get to see the ridiculousness of government. We get to see what governments and what the parties will do to win. All that stuff is in here. You expect all that stuff, but then again, this movie still has more. It still does more. And again, that gets into the third act, and I can't really talk about it. I also am a small town boy. I'm from Illiopolis, Illinois. A town, and when I lived there, of like 1,000 people. I'm sure it's less now. So I'm a small town Midwestern boy. This is about a small Midwestern town. And you get to see how these big city boys are treating us country folk, right? And I liked the way they handled all of that. Everything that they did for a reason. And again, it's hard to talk about the movie without spoiling it, because just you think you're getting one story or maybe even two stories. You get to see, you get the underdog story of Chris Cooper's character. You get the redemption story of Steve Carell's character. You might get a redemption story for Rose Byrne's character. They tease that Steve Carell and Rose Byrne's character may have the donkey and the elephant may have got together a few times, or they've teased each other a few times. So there's also that story. There's the possible love story of the daughter in Steve Carell's character. There's all sorts of side characters too. You also have the incumbent mayor. Him not wanting to do things to help the city. He's kind of going to let the city die. They talk about the numbers of elections. They talk about how the polling works. They have a pollster played by Topher Grace, and then they also bring the scientific person in, and everything just gets crazy when say the scientific people do something wrong, and they say, well, we've got and by the way, the scientific lady is Natasha Lyonne. I love her, and she's fantastic in this. If you like Natasha Lyonne, you'll like her in this too. But she let's just say she miscalculates one of the areas of the town. Her and Topher Grace's character always eat each other's throats. I kind of wish they would have played with maybe some sexual tension between them, because just the way they're at each other, they would make strange bedfellows, I guess, but they didn't really do anything that I caught anyway with that. But you get to see what happens when big city politics comes into little Midwestern town. That's kind of the whole gist of this. You see how the small, tiny, volunteer-led, Democrat office turns into this high-tech, do anything to win type Democrat office, and the same happens on the Republican side. Because basically they're trying to turn Chris Cooper's character into this national Democratic star where the whole country will notice. And so you get all the stuff you're expecting, but then again, there's more, and I can't talk about it. It's really hard to talk about anything else without ruining the movie. While I wouldn't call this the best political comedy I've seen, it's a darn good one, especially the last third to last act of the movie. Not saying the first part of the movie was bad, it's just that things get turned on their head a little bit, and I really liked what they did. And there's a pretty good message about politics, about the media, about small town America, about working together. There's just all sorts of messages. Also, during the credits, I don't want to call them multiple endings, but there's some fake out endings, and they're really funny. And then also there's stuff during the credits, and up into the end of the credits, there's an interview, and it's a real interview, and it's an amazing thought process to how our political system really works, and it's ugly. It is extremely ugly. This movie definitely shows the ugly side of politics, the money behind politics, the media's involvement in politics. There's just so much that this movie shows. And again, while it's not a perfect movie, it's really funny. And then when the message hits home, it hits home, and it hits home well. So again, while I would not recommend seeing this movie on VOD for $20, when it gets cheaper, if it gets to like $6, definitely worth checking out. It doesn't just make fun of Republicans. It makes fun of Democrats as well. It makes fun of our entire government, our entire American media, and it shows you a few different sides of the American small town. So I really dug the movie, especially again as someone that isn't really into politics, is in the media, and is from a small town. I really dug this movie. I really liked what they did, and I definitely recommend it. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Gino YouTube channel. Like this video. You have anything to say about Irresistible, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Till next time, I am your host, the Real Gino, Gino Reynolds. See you later.